She's not happy. You don't want to be in here while I film? You don't want to be in my video? No? No? Okay. A few months back I purchased a Jeffree Star lipstick and a Makeup Monsters Cosmetics lipstick from Lipstick Republic, and Michelle, the owner of the site, said that she'd be really interested on my comparison of the two lipsticks. And then I thought to myself, why compare two when I can compare this many instead? So the easiest and least biased way for me to do this will be putting it in alphabetical order, which means number 1, the Australis Velour Lips Matte Lip Cream in the shade Honolulu. That one there. The product itself actually glides on really smooth and has this really nice scent to it. It dries relatively quickly. It's got like a bit of tackiness when you're wearing it on your lips, but I mean that's kind of expected with most of them anyway. The pigment's really good. It goes on super creamy, it dries matte as it says. It's a bit like if you tap it with your finger it feels slightly waxy, but that's fine anyway. It comes off from the inside out and like comes off really easily after you've eaten, but for the price you pay for it you're not really phased by having to reapply. Following on from that is the BYS Velvet Lips liquid lipstick, which is actually the one I have on right now in Flamingo Flare, but I'll swatch it anyway so you can have them all lined up. That's that second one there that you can see. This one, much like the Australis one, goes on super easy. They both have really strong pigment. Like this here is just one swipe with the applicator and like the lip smack thing that everyone does. It comes off like you get colour on your finger if you rub it, but it still is on your lips, which makes me think it's got a bit of a staining factor to it. So that's a tad funny. It's one of those ones where when it dries it kind of emphasizes the natural lines in your lips, which if you have a like really dry cracked lips it's probably not a good idea for you to wear. It comes off a lot depending on what food you eat, because with a lot of these lipsticks the more oily your food the easier it's all gonna just go. Next up is the Chit Creamy Matte Liquid Lipstick, which has a box with all these different words on it, but the product name is just on the front. And this is in the shade Calendar Girl. Looks like this when you take it out of the box. That's not focused and I know it, but I don't care. Calendar Girl is this one here on the far end. It glides on super easily. Like the Australis one, it's got quite a fragrance to it, but it's not like anything sickly. Its drying time can take a bit longer than other liquid lipsticks. I think maybe it's got a slightly creamier texture or something like that. Maybe I just wore it on a day when the weather was crap. Who knows? It's a mystery. It has a really nice texture when it dries too. It doesn't have that super waxy, sticky feeling on your lips, which some do. When you like rub or tap your lips, the colour will come off, but it still leaves that sort of staining effect like the BYS one. It comes off evenly, which is really good, because a lot of them will wear away from the inside and you'll be left with this weird ring around the edge. But this one, it came off like all at once instead. There's like a tiny emphasis on the lip lines, but that could also just be because the one I've got is quite a pale nude, and paler matte shades will tend to do that more than a darker shade. Following that one is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and this one here, when I managed to open the box, is the shade Dominatrix. This one you do have to give like a slight shake before opening it. I really like the applicator on this one too. It's like that little doe foot one, which is good for getting on the edges. But I think overall my favourite applicators are the really like long sticky ones. Dominatrix is the super dark one there on the edge. It dries evenly, like it doesn't dry in patches. You're not left with weird patchy parts on it, and it doesn't take too long. It's super tacky though when you do like the whole thing with your lips. It feels, you can feel it sitting on your lips. It comes off when you like rub it, and you can actually see like slight variations in pigment when you've rubbed spots of it, and it came off super easy for me. I had a drink with a straw and my straw just immediately was covered in dominatrix, which was quite disappointing considering people hype it up a lot, so you think it's going to be the most amazing product ever, and then it wore away super fast for me. But it could be worse. Next up is the Kat Von D. I can never remember the full name of this. Whatever it is, liquid lips, long lasting. This is the mini size because Sephora had a sale and I could get 2 mini ones for the same price as a full one. So I got the 2 mini ones. This one here, which I'm about to swatch, is in the shade Lolita 2 and I am absolutely in love with it. I need to get the full one. I find Lolita 2 to be nicer than Lolita 1. It's more wearable daytime, whereas Lolita 1 comes off quite dark on me. So I'm doing a terrible swatch job. This one here on the end, that is Lolita 2. As with a lot of the others, it's easy to put on, strong pigment, dries fast. I found it to be the fastest drying of all of them, which was really nice. It wasn't tacky, you only got slight colour on your fingers when you went like this across it, which I'm not doing now because the BYS ones will go everywhere. It only came off a little bit when I was eating, like on forks and knives and everything. It came off more when I'd wipe my mouth, but you're rubbing it, so it's gonna come off really bad. It was one of those ones that wears away from the inside, so with it you've got to be careful what shade you use, because if you've got one of those really dark ones, it's gonna look a bit funny when you've got no lipstick here and then just this dark line around the outside. Especially if it's all flaky because you've had lipstick wear away instead of a definite line formed. The next one, which is oh so special, is the wonderful Lime Crime. I'm aware there's a lot of issues with Lime Crime, and to be honest, I found a lot of issues with this product. This is the Velveteen lipstick in Wicked. Don't you love it when your liquid lipstick makes a squelching sound when you open the bottle? Gotta love that. The packaging is adorable though, I'll give them that much. I really love the packaging. So Wicked is this one here, Lime Crime. Remember how with Jeffree Star I said it could be worse? Well, Lime Crime. It stains your skin really bad when it's smudged, which means you have to wait forever for it to dry in order to touch up your lip line, which, trust me, takes a while for it to dry. It dries patchy. If you have a bit more product in one area as opposed to the other, it'll be super obvious that that has happened because it dries all really funny. It was like slightly tacky when I like pressed my lips together, and when you did this you would get some product coming off. It felt really tight and constricting on my lips where there was more product, which is a bit concerning. It was very difficult to get a smooth lip line with it. Either it's the applicator or the product or something. Could be me, I'll admit it could be me. And it comes off way too easily. Like it flakes everywhere too, so you're left with not only just the bit around the rim but all patchy stuff on the inside, which you're not really wanting with your lipstick or with any makeup unless you're going for like some distressed grunge type look, in which case you do you. But I personally don't want all patchy lipstick, different shades, tight on my lips, hurting. No, not on. Next up is the Makeup Monsters liquid lipstick. I love their box, it's so cute. I want to get another one just so I can have them like standing like this because I have 2 already. This one here, which I'm about to swatch for you, is Wolfsbane. I also have Penny Royale, which I love, but it's discontinued, so that hurts. Yes, this is it here. So Wolfsbane is that one there. I also found Wolfsbane to be a lot darker when it dried too, but that's a pigment thing, not a product thing. They dry matte, which is good because that's what's promised. There's a slight sticky feeling. It doesn't really stain if it gets pushed around. It didn't smudge at all once it had dried either, which some of them do. The BYS one does, and the Lime Crime one definitely does. It didn't flake like naturally, like it didn't just flake on its own. You'd have to rub it to get it to come off all flaky, and it did come off with like the foods and makeup remover, but that was the only time, and you'd have to be pretty rough with it. It was quite a task for me to remove the lipstick off my lips. They were very sore. I needed a lot of lip balm afterwards. Next is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. This one here is in the shade Amsterdam. So it's that one there, the slight orangey red. It does go on more of a true red. It also goes on a lot creamier than the rest of them. A lot of them are very liquid based, whereas this one was super creamy, which was beautiful. It glided on really smooth, easy to apply. It has such great colour payoff too for a red lipstick. I struggle with red because if you screw up your lip line, you're basically screwed. But with this, I didn't feel the need for a lip liner. It went on really well. I've worn it numerous times. It's easily my new favourite red lip. It comes off on your fingers like some of the other ones do, but this one still leaves quite a strong colour payoff even when it has rubbed, so it probably has more staining factor than the rest of them, so that's something you might want to keep in mind. It does highlight the lip lines a little bit, and it came off when I was eating, but with a lot of them they will naturally do that. And this one also left like a red stain to my lips when it had been removed, like just that slight reddish hint. Not like irritation red, as in like colour pigment red. And then the last one is the Sleek Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Cream in the shade Petal. It's got the long stick applicator I was talking about anyway, which basically it's like you're putting a long flat rod across instead of the little doe foot. So Petal is that bottom one there. I find Petal to be a really good shade for me if it's just like a nice pink variation nude type of my natural colour. It does go on really lovely, I have to admit. It dries easily and it dries super opaque with the great colour payoff. It's not patchy. It does highlight the cracks in the lips, but again that could just be because the shade I have is a pale nude, which that does happen with a paler matte shade. It wasn't tacky when I like tapped it, but it did have a tad of like a waxy feeling on my lips, and it came off when I was eating, but you kind of expect that after the first few liquid lipsticks that they're all gonna essentially just come off while you're eating. In terms of which ones I like the best and the worst, it's kind of a subjective opinion, but naturally I'm going to prefer cheaper ones because even if you do have to reapply them, it doesn't bother you because it doesn't cost a hell of a lot to continuously replace it. Whereas with the Jeffree Star one, that comes off really easily. If I wore that all the time, I'd have to replace it, and it's about 30 bucks every time I want to replace it. Whereas the BYS or the Australis, even the NYX, you're averaging about like $9 or so for a lipstick, which for these type of lipsticks you don't mind paying. So as I was editing, it became apparent that the last part of my footage had gone missing, which of course had to be the part where I said which I liked the most and which I liked the least. So instead of retelling everything I said from earlier because I can't remember it, I'll give you the abridged. So my first choice was the Australis Velour Lips Matte Lip Cream, and then my least favourite was predictably the Lime Crime Velveteens. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out my other videos. Don't forget also follow me on Instagram. All my links to social media will be in the description box below. And remember, stay beautiful, stay creative.